So this is our latest eco project. It's for a children's room, and on this side we're building a wardrobe specifically designed for this child, but it's also going to be very flexible. So the eco side of it is you've got the materials, but you've also got the design. And the thing of this is that we've got adjustable shelves inside, so when the child grows up, they can move the shelves around and maybe use it for something different. You've also got some rails on the other side. So this is split into two, so you've got adjustable shelves on one side, and then you've got rails over here. These rails can easily be moved up and down to suit the type and size of clothes you're going to put in there. And the materials that we're using here, because it's a children's bedroom, we're conscious to use materials that aren't going to pollute the room itself. And of course we don't want to use materials that are going to be polluting the rest of the world as well, because if we're putting chemicals down into rivers, it's going to go into the sea and we're going to end up eating it, so we'll be ill. So whether it's polluting the bedroom or polluting the environment, it's all the same thing. So we've got here some special MDF which does not use formaldehyde, so you're not going to have any problem of or issue of formaldehyde off-gassing. So we don't need to use a passivating primer on this, we can just paint this straight away. And we're using some, on the inside we've got different paint than the outside. The outside we're using a water-based VOC-free paint, so it's not going to smell, it's not going to give off any fumes, so it's very healthy for the child who's going to be sleeping in here. And we're using that paint on the outside because it's very white and it's perfect for our simple modern furniture that we specialise in. On the inside we're going to be using a different paint which is made by AURO. Now this paint is very special because it's made entirely of natural materials such as oranges, linseed oil. So they're just products that you can grow anywhere and can be used to make something very useful like paint. And as you know, orange linseed, you put it back into the ground, it just gets recycled and it doesn't harm the environment at all. So we've got that on the inside. If we need to do any filling of holes, which we mostly won't be doing in here because we're keeping all the screw holes exposed. So another part of the design is that we want this, at the end of its life, we want it to be dismantleable. The problem with fitted furniture is at the end of its life it's just stuck or glued together and you just have to rip it out, comes out in pieces, and then you just have to throw it away. So the idea of leaving some screws exposed is that you can see where they are, you can easily dismantle everything. The other thing is it doesn't use any glue, so so it makes it much easier to take apart. And then you can maybe build it somewhere else if you've got a space that's similar, or you could adapt it to something different, or you could just use the shelves and cut them up and make something entirely different with it. So there are lots of different aspects about this. So I was saying about the filler. If we do need to use filler, we've got a filler here which is based on chalk, so it's a completely natural inert material that's not going to give off any VOCs. Then the back is very special because it uses hardboard, which is basically, it doesn't use any glues to bind it together, it's just pressed together at incredibly high pressure, just like when you make paper. So it's just bonded completely naturally together, and it makes a very strong, incredibly strong and incredibly dense material. You can see on this side, you might be able to see that it's very, very, very shiny, but the other side is very, very matte. And the reason why is because on the bottom you have a mesh, and on the top you have a big plate that crushes down the wood fibres that are mixed in with water, and all the water escapes through the mesh on the bottom, and you're left with this incredibly dense material, which is basically giant, thick paper. So it's completely natural. You can put that straight in the compost, burn it, and it's not going to be giving off nasty fumes. That's it.